In certain religious traditions, a priest or a spiritual teacher might give someone a new name to represent a new chapter in their life. Why would they do that? Because sound is creative. Sound influences identity. Identity influences our behavior, and behavior influences life experience.
Welcome to the Anniston Riekstins Show. This space is created for the woman coming home to her voice, her power, her way. For the woman remembering who she really is, beneath the noise, beneath the roles, beneath the world's expectations. I'm Anniston, transformational guide, spiritual teacher, best-selling author, and creator, here to walk beside you, to share stories, wisdom, and energy that guide you back home. Here, we lead from the inside out. We create from overflow, not hustle. We rise not by becoming someone else, but by remembering who we've always been. This isn't just a podcast. It's a homecoming. So let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Anniston Riekstins Show. I am so excited that you are here. Today, I want to talk to you about something that honestly took me a little while to understand. Because when I first heard these ideas, they sounded a little abstract. But once it clicked, I felt like I had been given the cheat codes to understanding myself and to understanding my path. And honestly, how life seems to organize itself. And what I realized is this: most of us are trying to figure out who we are, what we are meant to do, why certain things feel easy for us and other things feel hard, without ever really being given a map. We are just told, follow your passion, believe in yourself, do what feels aligned. But sometimes you're like, okay, but how? Why do I feel pulled in certain directions? Why do some things energize me and other things drain me? Why do certain patterns keep repeating? Why do I feel like I have gifts, but I am not totally sure how to trust them? And what I did not realize for a long time is that life actually has patterns. Not rigid rules or something that takes away your choice, but patterns. And when you start to see the pattern, so many things begin to make sense. Honestly, it felt like someone handed me the cheat codes, not so I could control life, but so I could finally understand how to work with myself instead of constantly feeling like I needed to fix myself. You know what I mean? There's this idea that shows up in many spiritual teachings that says creation is spoken, numbered, and formed. And I know that might sound a little big, but it's actually really simple. Basically, everything starts with energy or vibration. Then that vibration organizes into pattern, and then that pattern becomes something physical. We see this everywhere. For example, in the Bible, it says, God said, let there be light. Creation begins with the spoken word. Then creation unfolds in 7 days, which introduces sequence and order and number. And then the physical world forms. Spoken, numbered, formed. Another example, in Hindu tradition, there is the sound Om, which is believed to be the original vibration of the universe. Again, sound comes first, then form. But even outside of spiritual teachings, we see this in everyday life. Think about music. Music is vibration, but it is not random vibration. It follows a rhythm, timing, structure, pattern. And when those patterns come together, we feel something. We feel emotion. We feel energy shift. We feel inspired, calm, energized, sound, pattern, experience. Or think about building a house. First, there is an idea. Then there's a blueprint, which is a pattern. Then the house is built. So it goes from idea to pattern to form. Or a recipe. Ingredients are combined in certain proportions. That pattern creates a result. Patterns exist everywhere. Hey sister, let's take a quick pause because I want to tell you about something I have just released. It is a free numerology quiz called Uncover the Hidden Patterns Shaping Your Life. And all you need is your date of birth. Here's what you're going to walk away with: your life path number, the curriculum you came here to master, and clarity on the hidden pattern that has been quietly running your life without you even knowing it was there. Because once you can see it, You can stop blaming yourself for it. You realize it was never a you problem. It was just a pattern you hadn't seen clearly yet. And once you can see it, you can actually do something about it. One of my clients said it best. She said, Anniston didn't just tell me about my path. She helped me remember it. That is what this quiz does. The link is in the show notes. It is free and it is worth every minute. Now back to the episode. Actually, I want you to try something really quick with me. If you're driving, try to do this safely. If not, maybe just listen. I want you to place your fingers gently on the front of your neck, right over your voice box. And now just hum for a moment. Do you feel that vibration? Your body is literally producing frequency. Now say your name out loud, slowly, and notice what happens in your throat, in your chest, in your mouth. There is movement. There is vibration. Your name is not just a label, it's a sound. And your nervous system recognizes that sound immediately. Every time someone says your name, your body responds. Sound affects energy. Energy affects how we feel, and how we feel affects how we show up. So this is not abstract. You can literally feel vibration in your own body. So where numerology comes in is numerology is simply the study of pattern. That is it. It is absolutely not about just predicting the future. It's about understanding underlying patterns. For example, you've probably already noticed that some people naturally love structure. They like plans, they like organization, they love systems, whereas other people feel more alive when they have freedom. They like variety and they enjoy creativity and change and flow. But some people feel most energized helping others. Some feel most energized creating something new. Some love to teach or to build or to lead. Some love to support. None of these are better. They are just different patterns. Just like in nature, bees have a role. Trees have a role, rivers have a role, sun has a role, everything has a function. And numerology helps us to understand our natural function. Because a lot of frustration comes from trying to be something we are not. It is like trying to use a fork to eat soup. Nothing is wrong with the fork. It's just not designed for that. Numerology helps us to understand design. Now, this is where things start to get really interesting. Because your name is not just something people call you. Spoiler alert. Your name is sound, and sound creates vibration, and vibration organizes energy, and energy eventually becomes form. So in a very real way, your name is sound that has been helping shape how you experience yourself, your identity, your expression since the moment you were born. You have heard that sound thousands, maybe tens of thousands of times throughout your life, the sound of your name. Every time someone says your name, your nervous system responds, your attention will shift, something in you recognizes that is me. And in many traditions, it is believed that the soul chooses certain themes it wants to explore in this lifetime, and that those themes are encoded into the sound pattern of their name. That the soul creates a kind of blueprint, and that blueprint becomes embedded in the vibration of the name. And then very often parents intuitively feel drawn to a certain name without fully knowing why. They just know this is the name. You hear this all the time. I just knew that was her name. I had that name picked out for years, or it just felt right. There is something intuitive happening there because sound carries pattern. And as we've just discussed, pattern shapes our experience. And if this idea feels a little abstract, there's actually a field of study called Cymatics that shows this visually. It's fascinating. Cymatics is the study of how sound vibration affects physical matter. So when different sound frequencies are played through sand or water, the particles will literally organize themselves into geometric patterns. Change the sound and the pattern changes. So we are not just talking about something symbolic here. Sound actually influences structure, it influences pattern, and thus influences form. So when we talk about your name as sound, we are talking about something that has been creating a vibrational pattern in your system, in your field for your entire life. Again, this is not about something being fixed or limiting or predictive. It's about understanding your tendencies, your themes, natural strengths, the lessons you came here to learn. It's like understanding the climate that you were born into. You still have choice, but you understand the environment you are navigating. And interestingly, changing names is not a new practice. Throughout history, there have been many traditions where someone would receive a new name after a major life transition, or sometimes after an illness or a spiritual initiation, sometimes after stepping into a new identity. Even in certain religious traditions, a priest or a spiritual teacher might give someone a new name to represent a new chapter in their life. Why would they do that? Because sound is creative. Sound influences identity. Identity influences our behavior, and behavior influences life experience. I actually changed my name in 2017 from Anna to Anniston. That's 9 years ago. At the time, I felt like I had outgrown the energy of my previous name. I felt like I had moved through this new chapter in life, and I was stepping into a new beginning. And changing my name felt like aligning the sound I heard every day with the woman I was becoming. But something important to understand is this: even if a name changes, the original OG blueprint still exists. The core themes that your soul chose to explore are still present. The new name simply changes the flavor of it. It changes the way that energy expresses. It's like changing the key of a song. The melody is still recognizable, but the tone shifts. And this is why understanding the energetic pattern within your name can be so powerful, because it helps you understand the deeper themes that may have been present all along. Not to limit you, but to help you work with your design instead of against it. Often what we think is confusion is just simply a lack of context. I really believe this. And when we can understand the context, things begin to make more sense. And when things make more sense, guess what? We exhale, we relax. We can move forward with more clarity. And for me, when I started understanding these patterns, so many things started to make sense. Like why certain types of work drained me, even if I was pretty good at them, or why certain conversations lit me up, why I felt pulled towards teaching and guiding, why certain fears kept repeating, why certain gifts kept showing up again and again. And instead of asking what is wrong with me, which I did for the first 25 years of my life, I started asking what is trying to express through me. That question changes everything, because often we don't need to become someone new. We just need to understand who we really are. It's like finally having a map. The map does not tell you every step, but it helps you understand the terrain. And when you understand the terrain, you will move with more confidence. If you have ever felt like you know there is something inside of you, but you cannot fully articulate it, or you feel like certain patterns keep repeating, like you're beating your head against a wall, or you feel like you have gifts, but you're not fully sure how to trust them, understanding your energetic pattern can be incredibly helpful, because clarity will reduce your self-doubt naturally. Because when things make sense, your nervous system is going to relax. And once you're relaxed, you'll then take aligned action with a lot less resistance. This is why I created the Identity Blueprint Intensive. It's a transformational experience where we look at the patterns in your name and your birth date, and we translate that into real life understanding. We look at your natural strengths, your growth themes, your leadership style, your creative energy, what you're here to create, where you may feel stuck, how to work with your design instead of against it. Most women leave the session feeling relieved because things finally make sense. They stop feeling like something is wrong with them and telling that old story. They start trusting themselves, maybe for the first time. If you feel curious about understanding your own pattern, you can find the link in the show notes. But hear me when I say this. You are not random. Your gifts are not random. Your path is not random. There is an intelligence within you. And sometimes we just need the language to see it. Understanding the pattern is not going to limit you, sister. It's going to free you. Because when you understand how you are beautifully, perfectly designed, you can finally work with yourself instead of against yourself. And that is often when everything begins to open. So I hope that this met you exactly where you are today. And for those of you that are hearing this, I trust it was meant for you. So again, if this is something that feels aligned for you, if your soul is responding and saying, oh my gosh, yes, click the link in the show notes. It's quite possibly the greatest gift that you'll ever give to yourself. And with that, I want to wish you an incredible day. Go out and create an incredible day for yourself, sister, because you can. And I can't wait to see you next week on next week's episode.
Thank you for being here, beautiful soul. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to pass it along to another woman who might need these words today. And if you feel called, it would mean so much if you would take a moment to rate and review this podcast. It's one of the best ways to support this work and help these messages reach more women who are ready to remember who they are. And if you'd like to stay connected or share what's landing for you, come find me over on Instagram. I'd love to meet you there. Until next time, keep trusting your rhythm, keep honoring your voice, and keep becoming the woman you were always meant to be.